Beware the World to Come by Christopher John Bjerknes. Chapter 1. Androgyny Agenda. There is a lot of strange talk these days about genders. For anyone over 50, gender confusion appears to be something new. In the old days, things were simpler. Kids were taught that there are males and females, and that men and women are fundamentally different and easy to distinguish from one another. At some point in life, there was a chance you would learn about hermaphrodites, whose bodies had both male and female characteristics. But in general, most people spoke about boys and girls, men and women, and never entertained the possibility that the sexes might be combined into one androgen. Not too many people realized that the God of the Bible is actually three gods rolled into one androgen: the male god Yahweh, the female goddess Shekinah, and the androgynous union of the two in one Godhead, which is often represented as the sun. The situation has dramatically changed. Many individuals, groups, political movements, religious institutions, professional standards committees, legislators, clergy, teachers, academics, law enforcement officials, journalists, opinion shapers, etc., are arguing over how many genders there are, what form they take, what rights they do or do not have, and why it is or is not important that we recognize them all. Where did this all controversy and confusion come from? Languages include genders in their grammar, articles, and pronouns, often in beautiful and meaningful ways. English has a his and a her. German has gender articles such as der for the masculine, die for the feminine, and das for the neuter. In America, pink was long thought to be a female color and blue predominantly male. Gender has literally played a leading role in human cultures throughout recorded history in patriarchal and matriarchal societies, and strongly manifests itself in the natural world and in anthropological discoveries. So why are things suddenly changing now? It is true that throughout history, there has been some blurring of the lines between male and female. Homosexuality was rampant in ancient Greece. Males often portrayed females in stage performances. In Sumer, the gala priests of the goddess Ishtar confused male and female traits. And there were many androgynous gods. Some of these gods had both male and female faces and sexual organs. They were thought to have created men and women in their divine androgynous image, not as distinct beings, but as androgynous beings who were later separated into the two sexes, literally cut in half to form man and woman out of one androgen. The chromosomes of a male human being provide us with a good analogy for the androgynous gods of the ancient world. They are composed of the male chromosome coupled together with the female chromosome. A male sperm cell joins together with a female egg cell to form a new organism which contains both male and female genetic material. Some of these ancient androgynous gods had breasts as well as beards. Things became even more confused when the gods broke apart into male and female aspects, and when they separated the androgen atom into Adam and Eve in a divine act of mitosis and meiosis. The Jewish mystical set of beliefs known as Kabbalah professes that the corruption of the androgen gods and of androgynous Adam into distinctly male and female forms was a terrible calamity that needs to be rectified through a process the Kabbalists call tikkun olam. This expression means that Jewish people must repair the world. They believe that this process of repairing the damage began about 6,000 years ago when Adam was created, then divided into Adam and Eve, and needs to be completed now, or terrible things will happen. Fixing human beings by making them androgynous will also repair the gods and return them to their androgynous state, because what happens on earth affects what happens in heaven. The androgyny agenda is a religious agenda. It is a Kabbalistic agenda. Androgyny-based ancient religions hold that not only are male and female one being in the proper order of things, but that the beginning and end of history are also of one and the same form. That is to say, that human beings must and will return back to their original state of androgyny and mirror the gods, who will follow suit and once again become androgynes when the world has been repaired, as above, so below. For example, according to Kabbalah, humanity was created about 6,000 years ago in the androgynous form of Adam and must return to that androgynous state in the world to come, Olam Haba. In fact, the Messianic age, which is about begin, will not arrive unless and until human beings are converted back into androgynies. The Christian Kabbalists Jacob Boehme, William Blake, and Franz von Baader each recognized the androgynous nature of Adam. Baader, an early 19th century Catholic theologian, stated that the Trinity is androgynous and that human beings will return to their ideal androgynous state as the world to come approaches. The article for Androgyny in the Encyclopedia of Homosexuality states, Franz von Baader, 1765 to 1841, who interpreted the sacrament of marriage as a symbolic restitution of angelic bisexuality, believed that primordial androgyny would return as the world neared its end. The Wikipedia article for Franz Xaver von Baader contains the following passages. One of Baader's central ideas is his concept of androgyny. The androgen is the harmonious fusion of the sexes, resulting in a certain asexuality, a synthesis which creates an entirely new being, and which does not merely juxtapose the two sexes in an inflamed opposition as the hermaphrodite does. Following the literal wording of the first of Genesis's two accounts of the creation of man, Baader says that man was originally an androgynous being. Neither man nor woman is the image and likeness of God, but only the androgen. Both sexes are equally fallen from the original divinity of the androgen. Androgynism is man's likeness to God, his supernatural upsurge. Hence it follows that sexes must cease and vanish. From these positions, Baader interpreted the sacrament of marriage as a symbolic restitution of angelic bisexuality. The secret and the sacrament of true love in the indissoluble bond of the two lovers consists in each helping the other, each in himself, towards the restoration of the androgyne, the pure and whole humanity. Ultimately, Christ's sacrifice will make possible a restoration of the primal androgyny. Baader believed that primordial androgyny would return as the world neared its end. Adam was fashioned from clay after the androgynous image of the Trinity of the gods of the Jews, Yahweh, male, Shekinah, female, and Ein Sof, androgynous godhead, and also symbolized by the androgynous son, Adam Kadmon, of the male and female parents in the Jewish Trinity. When the Jewish people have successfully repaired the world 6,000 years after Adam was created, which is about now, then all human beings will again become androgynous beings. As it was in the beginning, so it will be in the end. The androgyny agenda is, therefore, a significant aspect of the Jewish mission to be a light unto the nations and repair the world, known as Tikkun Olam, which divine work necessarily sets the stage for the Jewish world to come. The Zohar, written by Moses de Leon in the 13th century, originated the occult system of Kabbalah, which is driving the androgyny agenda of Tikkun Olam, repairing the world. The Zohar explains the meaning of the occult principle as above, so below, which creates a unity between the gods and humanity, heaven and earth. Whatsoever is found on earth has its spiritual counterpart on high and is dependent on it. When the inferior part is influenced, that which is set over it in the upper world is also affected, because all are united. That which is above is in the likeness of that which is below, and the likeness of that which is below is in the sea, regarded as the mirror of the inferior heaven, but all is one. As it is in all things below, so it is above. According to Kabbalah, Yahweh, actually the Elohim meaning the gods, El, Asherah and their son Baal, separated Adam, who was both male and female in one, into Adam and Eve. The clock then began to run on a countdown of 6,000 years, during which time it is hoped that the descendants of Adam and Eve will have repaired the world and merged back together into androgynous beings. Androgynous Adam had within him/her all the 600,000 twin souls of the Jews, the androgynous souls of all the Jews that became separated into male and female half-souls when Adam split into Adam and Eve. One of androgynous twin souls resides on earth and is separated into its male aspect and its female aspect. The other androgynous twin soul lives in heaven and is likewise broken into two genders. Jews, who are presently mere male and female half-souls, search for their ideal soulmates to marry. In a perfect marriage, the identical half-soul, which separated from the other half-soul when Eve was cut away from Adam, weds its other half from the same androgynous whole soul, so that they can reunite into a quasi-androgynous form of the male, female, earthly twin soul and produce pure children. Jews are reincarnated over and over again during the 6 days or 6,000 years of creation because they are imperfect and must repair themselves bit by bit in each successive incarnation of their half-souls. Their beliefs in some respects mirror those of Hinduism, Buddhism, Pythagoreanism, and Platonism. They repair themselves and the world by following the 613 commandments or mitzvot of their Canaanite gods El and Asherah, whom they have renamed Yahweh and Shekinah.